The Best Hawaii, presented by American Savings Bank and Hawaiian Telecom.
Everybody asks, like, how did you get the name Rainbow Drive?
All right, so we're at one of my favorite hikes with one of my favorite people who also loves to hike, Laura. So tell me about the beginning of the Lanikai Pillbox hike.
The history of it? Okay, so from what I know, it was right after World War II when the bombing of Pearl Harbor happened. The bunkers or pillboxes were built as people think pillbox, I guess the literal term of it would be like machine guns, but it was more used for observation. So they had high-powered telescopes to look out to see oncoming ships. So
I didn't know that.
That was in 1943. And then later on, after the war, it was sold to private individuals. Then further on, like around, the dates aren't exact, like about the late 1980s, the state of Hawaii started, I believe it's Na'alahele, trail access because of the public concern for the land being overrun by development. So the Lanikai Association decided they would like to have the state acquire this ridge line. So that's when it was handed over to the Hawaii Land and Resources Department.
Was it like turned into conservation land, or?
It is. So now it's state. Excuse me. It's owned by the state now, and it is part of the trail system. So yeah, it's protected.
I didn't know all the history.
Hopefully I'm right. That's just what I've learned over the time. So.
And obviously when you see pillboxes, you think, it had to do with the war and it's people looking out for stuff. So very interesting. How many pillboxes are there?
There's two main ones here, but on the island, the ones that I know of are the Makapu'u, Ehukai, Ma'ili. There's one in Kaneohe. There may be a few more, but those are the ones that I'm familiar with. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so you're my expert for this hike, and tell me more about yourself.
I am a first grade teacher at Manoa Elementary. I'm more of just an avid hiker. I love hiking. It's my therapy, nature, just being out there, just reconnecting. It's my time to be grateful, especially hikes. Lanikai is great. It's a quick hike. It gets your heart going, and you just come up here and it's literally 360 of just beauty. You have the Ko'olau Mountains, you have the beautiful mokes out here, and you can't help but feel alive and grateful, and it's quick, and then you go start your day. It's just a wonderful way to get started, but that's just my love for hiking is my way to get away from the stresses of everyday life.
And it's a good avenue to keep in shape. And
it is. It's nice.
And do you often hike with friends or with your husband? And how often do you do it?
I try to hike at least once a week, but that's kind of not the case anymore because my husband works on weekends. And my friends have wonderful schedules where they can hike wherever they want to. Lena, no. But friends, family, whoever. If you want to go hiking, just give me a call. I love hiking, and whenever I have the opportunity, I get out there. Yeah.
Do you have any memorable stories from this particular hike?
This particular hike is wonderful because it has just a bunch of people from diverse, backgrounds. I would say there's a lot of proposals. There's been a lot of, spark first dates. People, well, hey, how are you doing? How's your day going? What are you doing later? So I hear a lot of flirting sometimes, but it's lots of languages. Yeah, it's a fun hike, and it's family friendly, and anybody, you just got to take your time, but for the most part, anybody can do this hike. Yeah.
I know, I saw a proposal the other day as well.
Oh, nice.
I didn't actually see it happen, but I believe the gentleman was visually impaired. And then I heard him telling her, it's 3 carats.
Oh, wow.
So then I was like, oh. And then they sat there very intimately, and she was looking at the ring, and then some young girls kind of caught wind of it and started screaming, and they were like all excited. And so I thought, oh, that's so cool. And then I remembered, it's 3 carats. Whoa.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So cool. Well, do you have any tips or recommendations for people if they want to try Lani Pai pillbox hike?
Well, there's not a lot of shade. So if you want to stay, a bit cool, I would recommend coming either early morning or later evening. Definitely bring water. And just be respectful of the community because it is, to find parking, you can't park by the trailhead. You have to park in the community. So again, just be mindful of your surroundings, but definitely bring water and enjoy it.
I also wanted to recommend for people, if you do park within the community and you're coming before sunrise when it's still dark, people are probably sleeping.
That just happened today.
Yes.
A large group. So the security guard down there is like, hey.
Yeah.
Just because you're awake doesn't mean other people want to be.
I know. There were a couple of girls behind me this morning too that were like super loud, and I just felt like, oh, please be considerate of residents sleeping because
Because that's when the community decides, okay, we've had enough, and they're going to try and close it.
Yeah. So, and take your litter.
Yes, definitely. And your dog poop.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, thanks for having
Such
me.
an honor. See you on the trail.
Come on down.